رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء وإمام المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. جماعة المسلمين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم كتابه: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. Always and ever, all thanks and praise is only due to the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, the boons, favors and blessings of the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is countless. And for us, Jama'at Muslimin, being the ummah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even more so. In this verse, the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explain unto us and unto humanity of a great incident that happened many decades prior to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to this dunya. And in this incident and happening, we can understand the power, the value, and the depth and the strength of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The war on this dunya will remain until the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. It started off the time of Nabi Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, where shaitan so many times persist and insist to take both Nabi Adam and Sayyidina Hawa, led them astray because he wanted his way. And shaitan, he don't want to be alone in the fire of the Jahannam. He need company. So for him to get company, he must take as much as possible people with him, and in order for that, lead them astray. So since that time up till today, and it will remain until the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, whereby the war between kufr and La ilaha illallah will remain. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in a hadith narrated by Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radhiyallahu anhu, annahu qala sallallahu alaihi wasallam, qala Musa ya Rabb allimni shay'an adhkuruka bihi wa ad'uka bihi. Qala la ilaha illallah. Qala ya Rabb kullu nasin yaqulu hadha. Qal qul la ilaha illallah. Qal ya Rabb innama uridu shay'an takhussuni. Qal ya Musa la ilaha illallah. Nabi Musa alaihissalatu wassalam, once he appealed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala And he asked the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach him a dua which he want to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that dua, and he want to supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that dua in his lifetime. And the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very simply replied to him and said, "O Musa, La ilaha illallah. You want to remember me? You want to supplicate to me? La ilaha illallah. That is the key for remembering me and to supplicate to me." And he said, "Oh Allah, everybody, all the people, they make La ilaha illallah. I want something specific, something special for me, O Allah." And again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "O Musa, La ilaha illallah." Then Nabi Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he now kept quiet and took a pause, and he realized that this is the answer. So he then was satisfied. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then explained to Nabi Musa and said, "O Musa, if you have to take the kalima La ilaha illallah, you put it on one side of the scale, you take the heavens and the earth, you put it on the other side of the scale, then La ilaha illallah will overweigh the 7 heavens and the 7 earths, as huge as it is. That is the value and the power and the significance of La ilaha illallah." So there was a time where a tyrant king, he ruled a city close to Syria. Some narrations, they say it was in Yemen. But be it as it may, this tyrant king, he ruled, and he was like really cruel in the sense that he enforced the people to believe in him. He was Fir'aun the second, so to say. He also claimed to be Ilah. You also want to be a God. And that system will remain until the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Currently in our time as we are alive now, Jama'atul Muslimin, there are Fir'auns on this dunya, controlling the entire world with their evil, because they want also to be Ilah. But the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proved it over and over to mankind, over the centuries of time, up till today and up till the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, that indeed there is only one Ilah, and that is the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this king, he had a magician that worked for him. Now, if you are Ilah, if you claim that you are a God, why do you need a magician to keep your kingdom alive and to see that nobody will defeat you in your kingdom? That proves that you are weak. Be it as it may, when this magician became old, he said to the king, "O king, as you can see, I've become old now. I can't do this work anymore. My age, I'm old now. Get me one of the youth, and I will teach this youth, this young man, exactly the way I did it over the years." And they got hold of this young boy. And this young boy, he went there and he learned. But deep down, this boy, this youth wasn't happy. It is not his nature. And one morning, as he was walking to the king's palace, he met a priest. And this priest was a very pious person. He was Nasara, but he was a good Nasara. And this boy stood by the priest and he started talking and asking questions and asked the priest, is it okay, can I join you? Can I sit with you also and learn by you? And the priest said, by all means. And the boy told the priest, look, I'm on my way to go learn, but I'm not happy what I'm learning. The priest told him, look, you have to go. But don't worry, soon you will be released from that. And then the boy went day after day, day after day. And one morning, as the boy was walking, he saw the people were standing and nobody wanted to move. And as he came closer, he asked the people what's happening. They said, look, there's a huge snake and we can't go. We can't further our journey because the snake will attack us. And immediately the boy made an intention. He said to himself, and he spoke to Allah, he said, oh Allah, please today show me where should I be? Is it by the magician or should I remain by the priest? He took a stone on this intention and he threw the snake and he killed the snake. And he said to himself, Alhamdulillah, now I know I should remain with the priest. Happily, anxiously, he rushed and he got to the priest and he told the priest what happened. And the priest told him, my son, from today onwards, you are a blessed person and you're gonna become better than me. But whatever gonna happen, please don't mention my name if you can manage to do that. It happened so, this boy was blessed by curing people. He could cure sickly people. And it happened so, one of the ministers of the king, he was blind. And he tried whatever medication there was at the time, and he went to so many people and doctors, but there was no remedy. Until he was referred to go to this young man. And he came to this young boy, and he told the boy, look, I'll give you whatever your heart desire. But please, I would like my vision back. The boy told him, look, I cannot give you your vision. But if you want your vision back, then I can tell you who can give it back to you. And he asked, who? And the boy said, my Allah. So the man asked, but who is Allah? And the boy replied, he said, Allah is your creator, your sustainer. So the minister was now surprised because they all believe in the king. And he said, look, I believe in Allah then. If that is the case, then I believe in Allah. But explain me, And the boy said, well, you have to utter La ilaha illallah. So there he accepted the kalima. He is now a believer. And then the boy made dua, he supplicated to Allah, and second moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him his eyesight. He then went to the king as normal, as a worker, as a minister, and the king asked him, but now, how did you get your eyesight back? Who helped you? Where did you get help now? So the minister said, no. The one that gave my eyesight was my creator, the one that created me, and the one that I have to worship. And the king got so angry, he asked him, who else is there that you are worshipping besides me? I am your Lord. The minister said, no, Allah is my Lord. He is the one that created me. He is the one that sustained me, and He is the one that gave me my cure. Next moment, the king called on his army and told the army, like, take him, torture him. Then the king called upon this young man, and he went to the king. And the king asked him, oh boy, but you are learning magic here by me, but now you are telling people that you believe in Allah. How can you believe in Allah where you supposed to believe in me? The boy said, no, I don't believe in you. I believe in the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the king asked the boy, where did you get on to believing in Allah? The boy said, well, I had a good friend which I spoke to, and he made me understood what is believe. And then the king said, well, who is this person? And then he referred to the priest, because the king sort of torturing the young man. If you're not going to say, then you're going to die. So the boy referred to the priest, and off they went and they got the priest. So the king told both of them, for the minister as well as the priests, and told them, look, if you people do not going to denounce your belief, and you're not going to believe in me, then you will be killed. And they both said, look, we rather prefer to die with La ilaha illallah than to live on this dunya believing in you. That is a disgrace for us. So the king commanded the army to cut both of them in half. Alive, cut them in half, and they died. So now, the boy was alone. And the king told him, look, you've got one more chance. Either you denounce your belief in Allah and you believe in me, otherwise you are number 3. The boy said, well, if that is the case, then I will die. So the king, he called his army and he commanded them, take this young man to the highest point of the mountain. And when you come there by the highest point of the mountain, he must denounce his belief. Other than that, throw him from the mountain. They set off to the mountain, and there, when they came to the top of the mountain, they told the boy what the king told him, and the boy made dua. Now here, Jama'at Muslimin, we as believers, we need to learn from this. And we need to believe firmly in the powers of dua. If we make dua sincerely from the heart, and we connect ourselves with Allah, it must work, and it will work, inshallah. The boy said, Allahumma kfinihim bima shi'ta. Oh Allah, you suffice me, you Allah alone suffice me, and do, oh Allah, whatever pleases you. Whatever you want to do with them, oh Allah, I leave it in your hands. I give it totally over to you. My trust, my tawakkul, my yaqeen is in you, O Allah. One boy, still very young, with an army. And because of his dua, Jamaatul Muslimin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the mountain shake. And they, as the mountain shake, they fell from the mountain. And the boy came back to the king comfortably, happily. And the king was so angry, furious. And he told the other army, he told them, come here. Take him in the middle of the ocean. And when you come there, if he do not denounce, throw him in the water. And they left. They came in the middle of the ocean. Once again, boy, soul alone, with an army, and he's not worried about nobody, about nothing, because he believed firmly in the one Allah. And he believed firmly in the qadr, in the power of the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once again, he put his yaqeen and trust and tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he said, the same dua I make, Allahumma kfinihim bima shi'ta. Oh Allah, whatever pleases you with these people, you are suffice. I don't need an army. I don't need help from nobody. I only need your help, oh Allah, the greatest. And then the ship start shaking. All of them shaking and tilting, and the whole army fell into the water. It's only the boy, and he returned back. Happily he went, and they again by the king. This time again, when he saw the king angry, furious, he told the king, look, you want to kill me, but you won't be able to do so. But I'm going to tell you what to do in order to kill me. And the boy told him what to do. Crucify me on a huge open field. Call the entire city. All the people in the town, call them. They must witness this. And then the king did as it was told to the king. And he said to the king, look, before you shoot, right, then I want you to say, Bismillahi wa Rabbil Ghulam. The king said, yes, agreed. And the boy told him, if you shoot me by the right temple. Everybody, the entire town, thousands of people are witnessing this. And there the king is ready, all happy now, he is going to kill the boy. He said, the king said, Bismillah, wa rabbil ghulam, and he shot. And he shot the boy dead. There the boy is dead. So one soul sacrificed, the entire city became mu'min, believers. Because when the king said, Bismillah wa Rabbil Ghulam, so the entire city, the people, all of them said, Amanna bi Rabbil Ghulam. All of us, we believe in the Lord, in the Allah of this boy. Ya Allah, and this, the king was like red, so to say. It was like fire of anger. Because now everybody, in other words, what he feared was the people will become believers. And he didn't want that. That's why he had this magician to do that and many other works to keep his kingdom powerful and is in his hands. So when this happened, the king commanded his army now to make a huge trench. They dug the trench and they light fire. And one by one was thrown into the fire. Because none of them wanted to denounce. They come one by one, then the king said, right, denounce now your belief. They said, no, we prefer the fire. And there was one mother, she just gave birth. The baby was few days, maybe a week or like that, small baby. And then the mother was little bit hesitant, not to die, but because motherlyhood as a baby. And as she was hesitant, the baby spoke. And the baby said, Ya Ummah, oh my mother, isbiri fa innaki ala al-haqqi. SubhanAllah, Jamaatul Muslimin, this baby said to the mother, oh my mother, please have sabr. In other words, have the patience to be thrown in the fire. Me too also. But we rather die in the fire with the haqq than to die on batil, which the king want them to do so. So Jamaatul Muslimin, to wrap up, this La ilaha illallah is, look, there was people even before the time of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were tortured. And so many generations were tortured. Up till today, we are also being tortured in a different way. But the reason for that is, as we mentioned, the war between the haqq and batil. The war between kufr and la ilaha illallah. For as long as there are people on this earth utter la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there won't be peace. Because the shaitan will always and ever oppose la ilaha illallah. But we as believers, we tell shaitan, shaitan, our creator, our sustainer, our Allah, our ilah, mentioned in the glorious Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, Inna kayda shaitani kana da'ifa. That shaitan, the kaid of shaitan is very, very weak. Because for as long as there is people on this dunya with firm iman in the heart, when they say La ilaha illallah, then you can feel it as they are speaking to their Creator, which is La ilaha illallah. And with La ilaha illallah, Jamaatul Muslimin, the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us whatever suffering, whatever problems, whatever need there is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come to our assistance, inshallah. The condition is we must be firm and sincere, as these people back then in the time of the tyrant king, they sacrificed their lives knowingly that rather in the fire of this dunya than being in the fire of the akhirah. And they died with true, firm, sincere iman in their hearts. We ask the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us, inshallah, to live on this dunya with that firmness of La ilaha illallah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must take us also away from this dunya with the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. For verily our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in quite a few ahadith that the key to the Jannah, inshallah, is La ilaha illallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us, inshallah, to leave this dunya with the kalima La ilaha illallah and grant us to enter Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.